Willkommen, bienvenue, and welcome back to Blast Off with Light. Today, we're out in the middle of pretty much nowhere, except you can see a bed over there. Well, it's not exactly the middle of nowhere, it's a double blaze spawner. Double. Ooh. That's right, double the blazes, double the fun. Over there is also a ghast spawner, so if we ever need to make a ghast farm, there's the place. Actually, a little further, there was a pair of them. I might have broken them. But there's at least two in that, so that should work anyway. But we should get a move on before the sun goes and sets on us, because the moment the sun goes down, these guys go a little bonkers. Now, to make this farm, I could have made a pile of conveyor belts, but we've already made a conveyor belt-based mob trap, so this time I figured, let's use fans. Because, well, they're fun, and blazes don't have a whole lot of traction. So, they need to be redstone powered. I could drop them on redstone blocks, but I don't have a whole lot of redstone at the moment. I went on a mad hunt for diamonds and iron, and picked clean a lot of the spires. Because soon, we should have a good way of getting those without too much fuss. Okay, here's hoping I made the right amount of levers and fans. Now this is a little overkill. You probably don't need this many. But I want this farm to be as efficient as possible. The moment a blaze comes down, I want it to be thrown in the pit. Now, when you first place the fan, it doesn't turn on. It needs a block update. So placing the second fan, like placing a fan next to it, will activate the fan. And we want this to be as straight as possible. Now, this last one, however, you just break a block and you're good to go. One of the other benefits of having this many fans is they get a lot more push when there's more of them firing. It's kind of nice. So, pow, 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 and pow. And along we go. And then we break this block and place it again. So, pretend I'm a blaze. Can barely struggle against it. And I've got speed on my side. And a Sojourner's Sash. So, all in all, that'll be pretty effective, I'd say. And then we just continue down the line on the other side, and all of the blazes will be pushed into the hole with very little fuss. Now, the closer they are to the wall, the more likely they are to get a little bit stuck. But for the most part, they'll spawn in the center and get shoved into this hole. Oh. Apparently, those fans are working through some sort of block. That's pretty awesome. Okay, so down here, we've got this 3x3 space, which I'm going to fill with spikes. Yes, it took quite a bit of resource gathering to get all of these spikes together, but I think they're going to be worth it. Killing this many blazes will be fantastic. The only thing is, I need to not let it push me into them, because these things are vicious. Okay, now that the spikes are in place, we need to be able to get things from the blazes. That's where a vacuum hopper comes in. It'll pick up the drops and their XP. We just place that right about there. That should be good. Now, there are a couple of different things that need to go different places. So we actually have 2 different ender chests. That's right, I made 4 ender chests. They're actually cheaper than I expected. Taking obsidian, brass, wool, chest, and ender pearl, that's not pricey at all. I haven't used much brass at all. I had quite a bit built up for the Flaxbeard's things. The obsidian, I had some extras laying around. Wool chest and ender pearl. I mean, the wool is actually the most expensive thing because I don't have a spider farm yet. So the red chest is for the blaze rods. So we'll place that guy here. No. Here. Then we're going to tell the vacuum... Oh. I'm going to put a block down just so I don't get sucked into that spike. There we go. Now, for the item outputs, I'm going to send them over here. And for the XP, I'm going to send it here. Okay, so now we go into our bag and get a diamond transport pipe. Now these pipes are pretty awesome. You've seen me use them before. But the even better thing is the vacuum hopper exports directly to the pipe, so long as you have the output set before you place the pipe. So yellow, we need a blaze rod. Blaze rods go yellow. Everything else will go the other direction. So then we just place the white one here. So everything else will go to the white chest. So anytime there are the infernal ones, the super special mobs, those will drop like enchanted armor and little red hearts and stuff of that sort. So it's important that we have a place to send those. I'm keeping an eye on the sun because these guys spawn like mad the moment the sun gets to where you can sleep. That's why the bed's over there, because if it were over here, they'd be too close and it wouldn't let me sleep. So the fans will blow the guys into the spikes. Once this is all done, they won't be able to see me, so they'll just fall and go. While they can see me, they might fly up and try to kill me, but I'm wearing all Kreknorite. I am immune to fire. They can try all they like. They are not going to be able to do anything to me. So I'll show you in the second half of the episode where all of that bottom part goes and why it's particularly interesting. But in general, this setup is to get all the XP. This is a serious XP farm such that I can get everything I need for the enchanted books, such that I can get a good hammer so I can harvest the meteors successfully. Which may or may not be necessary. I'm starting to run a little low on some of the spires. I have to walk quite a ways to find more diamonds and iron. Okay, so let's head on over here. Take ourselves a nap. Come on now. Well, I suppose I can wait just a little bit so we can kind of see it in action. And there they go. Okay, so a little too much action. Let's sleep before our bed catches fire. I'm not sure if they can burn. Never really tried. Don't want to find out now. Okay, so if they didn't see me, they would come down here, they'd die on the spikes, their drops get sucked into this hopper, as well as the XP. See? And then we want the XP to go into some open blocks tanks. Two should do for now. There we go. Now we can fill that back in. And then what we need is another lever and a shower head. And I've got the lever here. I might expand that such that when I'm over here, I don't have to worry. Oh, that was too much of a drop. But I can place this here. I believe it should be on. And there we go. So then, I mean, those fans working through the blocks is kind of annoying. But then you can just flip that, and all the XP comes out. And just that amount of time, I got all that XP. And that was just one batch of the blazes. After this, I can add the roof to it, and it'll work pretty darn well. So I'm going to cut here, put the roof on, and we can see how well it works. And here we are. It doesn't necessarily look like it, but I finished the roof. And, well, they were spawning while I was working on it, because, well, that's what they do. The moment there isn't direct sunlight, they can spawn like nobody's business. Now, it's totally dark in there. So, in theory, other mobs could end up spawning. I'm not sure I necessarily want it like that, so I might eventually replace this with glass or include glowstone or something that will make this purely a blaze farm. Because if I get too far away, some other things might try to spawn in there. And that's not what we want. So let's find out how much XP we got while making the roof. We're at level 21 and a quarter. And it's still going. And that was just from putting on the roof. I had all the materials already. All I did was place the blocks. So this appears to be a resounding success. Blazes do give you double the XP of all the other types of mobs. So this should be a bonkers good XP farm. Just crazy good. But you do have to wait for them to respawn. You do have to wait for them to die. But that's not a huge deal. Then we just set down our enchanting table and mana pylons. Within arm's reach. Grab a book, see what we can get. Here's hoping for fortune. Sharpness 3. Could be better. So, yeah, it's okay. I might end up doing something with the spellbinding cloth and trying to make this generally, like, use more enchantable things than books, because books are okay enchantability-wise, but diamond stuff is way better. Let's make sure this still works. It does. Good. Now, since this is the white chest, we could just drop stuff in there for transporting back to our main base, or we could just check to see what we got. Cookies! Blaze powder, iron boots, and some various iron things. Charger's helmet. Interesting. Not really what I want, but it's not bad. Let's turn that off. So that's how this setup is going to be. I will likely just leave the chest full of enchanted books here. And I made a couple of really rubbish ones for getting the enchanted wood for, well, yeah. I know using the better books probably would have been a better use of materials, but so it goes. I've also got some sugarcane I'll eventually plant over here. I'll make this place better because I'll need to spend some time here. And right now it's just a heap of hardened clay. And, well, that's just no good. I will make this place better. I'm just not certain how just yet. So let's wait for the sun to go down, and then take a little nap. And then we'll head back to the base, and I will show you where those blaze rods are going. You can probably guess, but I still want to show you anyway. Come on. We're almost there. Why don't I just cut here, and I'll see you back over at the base. And here we are back at the base. I've got myself some slimy grass. You can actually just put it on regular dirt. So I've got the one blue slime dirt seed, and then the rest of it just spreads onto the regular dirt. So that will make it very easy to spread as far and wide as I want it. Now, you can probably tell from that sound that we've got quite a bit of mana generating. Let's head down to our farm. You'll note the lack of charcoal flowing through here, because it's no longer going through here. We cut this off. We're no longer using charcoal. We're using a ton of endo flames that I made. Took a little while to get everything together, but it wasn't too bad. And now this grabbed any of the blaze rods that dropped and tossed them down here to feed these endo flames. Now, there aren't a whole lot of them running. Actually, it doesn't really look like any of them are running, except for maybe this guy ran out. So, all of these guys should be empty. Oh, this guy's not quite empty yet. But to keep up with the increased load of what we're going to get when I AFK over at that place for the levels, these guys could theoretically all be active at once. And then we need something to spread the mana into the pool. So we've got this ender chest marked red. Hopper into this, and it loops it around just like we did with the charcoal. So now, whenever I AFK to get levels, I will also be AFKing to get mana, which will be real nice for getting anything we need. Probably for Terra Steel is my most likely desire for it at this point. But these pools haven't been getting nearly enough from the charcoal-based mana production. It's just not enough. It was great early on because I had a huge backlog of logs from that guy over there. But this isn't big enough to keep up with the mana production. Not really. So it's still running. It's not particularly effective. It was good for a while, and it was good when it was collecting all the wood prior to me needing the charcoal. But now it's not enough, so we move on to something new. So I will need to AFK over, well, maybe AFK, maybe work on design work, whatever, over there, such that the blazes die, drop the blaze rods, and they will power the station down the bottom. I have a vastly better mana generation idea, but it will require the pneumaticraft drones. So let's take a look at that quest to make sure we know what we need to do next. Which one has unclaimed? Oh, right, that one. Doesn't matter. Ooh, what's this? Turret Golem Manual. Interesting. We might need to take a look at that one. It should be an early one, so it shouldn't be too difficult. We still need to make those flowers. Can't believe I haven't done that yet. So this goes on the list. We need to make these. Okay, so what I was saying, pressurization, we need to double check that we know what we need for these drones. So we did the air compressor. I don't know why. Oh, this is probably coming up from there to the pneumatic wrench. These we can wait on. So we need to make the laser and the I/O unit. And we're going to need to make 4 advanced PCBs. Whew, a little pricey, but I think we can manage. Because then we can get to the drones, and I desperately need a drone to make the mana farm I want to make. It's not absolutely necessary, but it'll make it a whole lot better. Oh, and you can see the... need to stay away from the pigmen. In this version of the pack, all of the pigmen are infernal, and the last time I walked close to one, I got struck by lightning. It was not pretty. So, oh, you can see some regular mobs spawned in the trap and ended up dying. So we need to light it up to prevent that. But with all of this iron, we can just take it and drop it in here. As you can see, I've done a lot of work getting iron, because it's very necessary for the things we're doing, and, well, it's going to take a lot of compressed iron to do everything we need to do. So I did a lot of work getting that iron, both from the spires and from infernal mobs in the various traps. The blazes should help with that quite a bit, so there will be another source of iron there without making a traditional iron farm. So I will keep my secret as to my super awesome mana generation project for the future. If you think you know what it is, feel free to leave a comment. I may or may not affirm that it is what I am going to be doing, but it will be, as far as I can tell, at least potentially vastly better than the setup I have now. Potentially. It should be better, but it all depends on a couple of different spawn rates. But that's enough for this episode, so I will see you in the next episode of Blast Off with Light.